Hello, it's Friday again, so it's Top Tips Friday. So today I've got a corker of a session for you. So I hope you're going to really enjoy this one. Little bit controversial. No, it's not really. Not too bad. So we're going to be talking today about creating part of your brand, which comes from your story. So as you can see, the title of this week's live is all about Harry and Meghan. Now, this isn't going to be about trolling people. This isn't about the whole be kind thing. This is about using your story as your fuel for your marketing. Clever, huh? So this week's timely topic is all about when is it okay to speak your truth and tell your story, and when should you hold back, and what do I believe? So these are only my thoughts. You can have your own thoughts around these things. When should you tell your vulnerable stories? So this morning I was watching the news and listening to all the very ruffled feathers of folk who are clearly not impressed with Harry's latest public truth sharing on the American podcast Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. Now, if you go listen to it, which I have done, be aware there's lots of fruity language, not from Harry, but it is quite fruity, to say the least. So go listen to it and form your own opinions. But in this podcast, Harry discusses what it was like to grow up as a privileged member of the royal family. He doesn't hide away from that. But he also talks about how challenging he found it, and that through making a difference to people by creating things such as the Invictus Games, he found enormous healing and purpose, right? So that's his truth. So in a week where we are focusing on mental health and shining a light on the dark areas, perhaps where people don't want to look, is it okay for Harry to be sharing his story? Just because we aren't all princes and princesses born into palaces, does that mean we can't possibly find value or resonate with parts of his story and struggle, and understand that as a dad and as a husband, he just wanted to find a way to protect his family and create a new life away from the one that was laid out in front of him, and choose his own path? So many of us have chosen our own path. We've gone a different way to the way that maybe our friends and family would go. And that's okay. So why is it not okay for him? We're not going to get political today. So whatever your personal beliefs are around Harry and Meghan and their publicity plans, I'm not going to get into that. But if you look purely, as we are in this group, about business branding, we're going to use it as a masterclass. So let's use it a little bit practically and dive a bit deeper. Now, I do have a terribly sore throat, so if I start coughing, I'm going to try to get through because I can feel it tickling. So I'm going to do my best to get through this, because this is some really golden content for you. So let me have a quick drink first. We all know that they left the royal family to build a new life and a business, yes? We all agree, that's the facts. So as part of their brand creation, rightly or wrongly, we're not here to discuss that, they're using their story to create their brand, and some capitalise on it. Fair enough, that's their story. So what lessons can we learn from this, and is it ever right to tell your deeply personal story? When should you share deeply personable? Well, that is a word. Deeply personal and vulnerable stories about yourself in your marketing. So there's a huge emphasis right now on, more than ever in marketing, to be seen as authentic, as real, as true to your values. Now, I remember the old days of PR. Typical. The old days of PR, of people posing next to flash cars and handbags that they didn't own, and the whole fake it till you make it style of marketing. That's well and truly over, guys. In the pandemic posting world, I can't quite say post-pandemic yet, we are all living in, people are looking for things that are real. They're looking with stories that they can connect with, experiences, truths around people who've made it and come out the other side. Just think about things like Captain Tom and how we all massively resonated with that during the pandemic. We want the human experience because we always love the underdog. So how can you bring that out in your story? First off, you need to connect with who you are and what your story is. This is huge. It's actually quite hard to do as well, because you are your brand and you are your message. So you need to get a pen and paper. As ever with my marketing, you need a pen and paper. Hi, Donna. Now get writing. 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. And for those of us that are a little bit older, keep going, in the decades. Now write down under each one of those headings or columns, whichever way you want to lay it out, you'll work it out, the events, challenges, major life events, illnesses, changes that happen, jobs, milestones, achievements, lessons, key people you met, places that you've lived, travelled, relationships, divorces, babies, siblings, graduations, failing at stuff. Literally everything you can think of that happened that was kind of a big deal in those decades, yeah? This is so amazingly powerful. So you're going to use this in your marketing. You're going to use this for a couple of reasons. Some of them are going to be to build know, like and trust, because we all like to buy things from people we know, like and trust. And some of them will use them as sales posts, because they're the most powerful kind of sales posts. So when should you share some of this? This is a really good question. Whilst you're going through it? Probably not. My personal thoughts are, if you're going to use personal stories and vulnerabilities to build your personal brand, then I think you should share when you've learnt the lesson. So when the bruise is fading, not while you're bleeding. So it's really important to kind of use it for a reason, not just to like spout off. That's not going to help your brand, is it? Also, not ever to hurt somebody else, which is where it can get a bit mucky when we're talking about the Harry and Meghan stuff. But we're not going to get into politics. So I don't think, that's just my opinion, I don't think you should ever tell your story to hurt someone else. You should only use your story when you're building your brand to enhance your brand and to deliver lessons that people can benefit from. So who's benefiting? What's the outcome? What do you want people to feel or do as a result of hearing your story? So with Harry's story, he's trying to resonate with people, rightly or wrongly, about the challenges that he's come across over his lifetime. Whether it's landing with people, rightly or wrongly, that's a whole nother debate that we can all have. But you should never use your story to hurt somebody else. Also, only ever share the bits of your story that are yours to tell. So yeah, I've got some amazing stories, and one day I will tell my story because it's quite spectacular. It's already been featured in the national press a long time ago, but I'm not going into it yet because I'm not ready to share it. And some parts of that aren't my story to tell, even though they're very juicy. Anyway, I'm not telling other people's stories, only my own. So how do you share your story? So think of a challenging time in your life that has massively contributed to your why you're in your business, why you're doing what you do, or how you've become the person that you are today. That's really important. So how do you do it? You create a captivating headline. You know, before I do any live, I try and think of something that's going to get people on. They're going to go, what's she talking about? Why is she doing this? You want to create a captivating headline. Explain what happened in the incident or the challenge that happened, how you overcame it, and then you got to go for the marketing-y bit, the silver lining. So what did you learn from it? How will this snippet of your life help others? How has it made you stronger? What are the positives? What lessons did it teach you about you, your life, or other people? So that's absolute gold. Take that. So great ways to kind of start this sort of post is things like, if I hadn't gone through this experience, or this taught me a really important lesson about. So those are two really good ways to frame it up. And I just wanted to end this one. I can't talk for long today, I've got a really sore throat. Our awful experiences can give us the opportunity to reframe a bad experience into a good one. It offers you the chance to take your power back over the experience. You can let it make you or break you, and it can also help you heal and recover. Because a lot of the time we're sharing stories about things that happened a long time ago when we weren't able to make sense of them. But as an adult, or maybe a few decades later, we can look back differently because it's become who we are, or part of who we are, but not all of who we are, maybe. Depends what happened. So every experience has helped to shape you into the wonderful person that you are. So today, do the work, go turn your struggles into your biggest successes and your messes into your message. I love that. I heard it the other day and I was like, oh, that's a good one. Turn your messes into your message. So have a great weekend. If you do one of these posts, screenshot it and share it in the group, or put a link to it so we can all go over and have a look at it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you're watching on replay. Let me know if you're going to do this. Post them into the thread, actually, that would be really good so we can keep it all together. So when people are coming to this in the future, they can start to see examples of this. So I'll post some of mine in as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this and have a great weekend. See you soon. Bye.